which goes on and 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 on. Hello and welcome back, ladies, and if you're new here, welcome to the journey. Today I wanted to share with you my newborn must-haves and regrets. I am a first-time parent, and thus I bought things that I ended up disliking and some things that I bought not on a whim, but kind of against some of the internet's popular opinion and ended up loving. So this is a perfect example of doing your research and going with your gut and knowing what you want. I'll be sure to leave a link down below to all of these products that I love so that you can go snag them if you want as well. The first thing that we bought that was an absolute lifesaver that the internet totally said I wouldn't use was a baby Brezza, which is essentially like a little fancy cappuccino maker for your formula. Our daughter Evangeline is adopted, so she is being formula fed, and oh my gosh, is this thing great. Your bottles are exactly the size you need, they are the temperature you want, and they are there fast. It is 5 seconds between putting that bottle there and having it full, and it is a lifesaver when you are holding a screaming infant and they are hungry and you just want to feed them. It is absolutely wonderful. I love it. The main criticisms were that it was hard to set up, it was too complicated. I don't know. I mean, it took all of 10 minutes for me to do all the settings I wanted and learn what all the buttons mean, and that was it. And you only have to do that once. Otherwise, it's just start. You hit the start button. Not complicated. The next must-have is Swaddles, and not just any Swaddles. I have tried a lot of Swaddles. I have tried the Velcro Swaddles. I've tried just using the muslin classes Swaddles. I love these Miracle Dream Miracle, future me will figure that out, Swaddles. They are the best. The key to them is that they have a bunch of flaps of fabric instead of just being a blanket that you're trying to swaddle your child in. The physics of it makes it the hardest swaddle to break out of, and that is what we needed. Our daughter is totally a Houdini. Even in the hospital, some of the nurses were having trouble swaddling her, so I had to step up my swaddle game, and this has been the perfect tool. It is by far the thing that keeps her contained the most over the Velcro, all over just using a blanket. This is the absolute ultimate swaddle. I've mentioned a few times in my updates, and I'm even doing a whole cloth diapering series, that we are cloth diapering, but I wanted to just put it out there that cloth wipes are superior and definitely one of my must-haves. Even if you don't want to commit to cloth diapering, cloth wipes are where it's at. They are so much better than disposable wipes. It's insane. The amount of, traction you get, the amount of cleanup you get, it's just so much better. And not to mention, like, my hand just feels more protected when I'm using cloth wipes than when I'm using the disposable ones. The disposable ones, it's like, this is a flimsy barrier between me and the gross. Cloth wipes, like, it's got me. So tune in to one of my diapering videos to learn a little bit more about cloth diapering and cloth wipes, but I just wanted to put it out there. They're amazing. My next must-have is the Owlette monitor. You've probably seen it on other people's must-haves list or seen it on your dang Instagram or Facebook ads because they advertise the hell out of it, but it is the Owlette monitor, which is just a little heart rate and oxygen saturation monitor. It goes around your baby's foot like that, and then this goes around their ankle, and then it hooks up to a base station as well as an app on your phone, and I cannot emphasize enough the peace of mind this gives me at night. If you saw our 1 month update, you know that Evangeline sleeps in her own crib, in her own room already, and that could not happen if I didn't have this monitor. It is just, for sure, what gives me the peace of mind to have her in a different room without me having to go check on her constantly. Absolutely love it. Some of the biggest criticisms are that you get a bunch of false alarms. I got false alarms for maybe the first few days before I knew how to attach it well, and before I learned the trick of just putting a sock over this. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, but it can't fall off if you put a sock on top of it. But honestly, even by itself, once I just learned how to fasten it properly, I haven't gotten a false alarm since. And also the false alarms aren't like aggressive like the emergency alarms are. So the app has two tones, essentially this nice kind of almost lullaby tone that tells you that this is falling off versus the siren tone of they think that your baby has stopped breathing. So there's two different tones, so it doesn't freak you out every time, it just wakes you up. Definitely worth the splurge in my opinion though. My final newborn must-have is this pack and play napper sleeper. I love the fact that there is a solid surface right next to the sleeping unit that I can keep all of my diapers and my wipes and my blankets in, that's safe and away from her, but right there within reach. I don't have to reach under or anything. It's right there. Absolutely love that. She loves the incline to the napper, as well as I think the sides make her feel a little bit more secure. And then you can flip that over, and now that she's a little older and more wriggly, I am really appreciating the fact that there's a changing station that also has an incline on the sides to keep her contained. I feel much safer with her in that while I'm changing her versus on the couch. It is definitely where she takes most of her daytime naps, and I love it. Now, on to things that I regret buying. That came so highly recommended by the moms of the internet. And you all be liars. Maybe not. It's a matter of opinion. You can do what you want. You can like what you want. I'm sure people don't like my must-haves either, but I just feel a little bit cheated by some of these. The first one is the counterpart to my last must-have, and that is this roller bassinet. I hate it. I just don't find it as useful as I thought I would. Maybe it's because she's not right beside me at night, but I wanted this to be kind of our main floor go-to napper, and it just isn't. First of all, I hate that there is storage underneath that is right at dog level. I don't feel safe putting anything in there. And when I'm trying to mess with her and get down there, it's just a lot, especially if I'm holding her and then I'm leaning and trying to get on. Not practical. Another thing that's not practical is how you get that bar up and down. You can see me struggle in the video because I'm trimming it with one hand, but let me tell you, two hands doesn't make it a whole lot better, and there's Velcro. Who wants to be dealing with Velcro when you have a sleeping child or a child you're trying to get sleeping? And then you gotta like use both hands to get it back up. Not a fan. Not a fan. My next regret is gonna ruffle some feathers. And I reserve the right to maybe like this better in a few months, but right now, for a newborn, it sucks. And the reason I bought it was for the newborn stage, so a little bit like salt in the wound, man. It's the boba wrap, which goes on and 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 on. All the people just adored this thing, and I hate it for a few reasons. One, it's summer in the Midwest. It's hot. This is 12 feet of fabric. You wrap 12 feet of fabric around you, you get hot, the baby gets hot. Even with me in a tank top and her stripped down just to a diaper, she still got too hot in it. Next, it just didn't feel secure. No matter how tight I tied it around my midsection, no matter what configuration, I always felt her slipping down, which was the other part, is it didn't secure her head enough. I don't feel comfortable not having a hand on it. And what is the point of a carrier if I have to have my hand on it all the time to secure her? Again, maybe as she gets bigger and the weather cools down, it'll be more practical. But for now, it was a huge disappointment, and I much prefer my actual structured carrier. It is so much easier to put on by yourself, and it holds her in place where I want her, and it secures her head, so I can actually have both my hands down, which was the point of the carrier. And it's cooler. Somehow something with like padding, half an inch thick, is somehow cooler than that wrap. Sorry, I went a bit out of a rant. I really wanted to love that thing. The next disappointment was another splurge of mine. I actually got it, I think, refurbished or something, so it wasn't as expensive as it could have been. And this is one that already had the internet divided, and now I'm weighing in on the no side of this, but it's the Mamaroo. It has worked once to soothe Evangeline. Otherwise, she just does not tolerate it. She doesn't like it. She doesn't find it entertaining or soothing. I can't put her there and leave her there and expect her to be calm. She is upset by it. All the settings are basically the same, by the way. They have 6 settings. They're all the same. All of them. And even the fastest speed doesn't do enough to calm her down. Babies kind of like that jostle and like that rapid movement, and I don't know. It's like they never tested it on a baby. So that is a big dud, unfortunately. My last regret is something that I actually bought after Evangeline was born because she wasn't feeling well. She was having some tummy troubles. You could clearly see that it was hard for her to get things going. So, consulting the internet, the number one thing that all the moms raved about was Gripe Water. And I bought some, and it absolutely made her feel even worse. Just putting the Gripe Water in her mouth definitely made her throw up. Putting it in her bottles just almost caused a delayed reaction. She'd spit up later. She wasn't feeling good. As things were passing through her gut, it was hurting her even more. It was a total disaster, and I know every baby's different, but I just wanted to put it out there that did not work and was actually detrimental in her case. So I gave it a shot for a few days, but then I called it quits because it was just clearly not helping. I will put those all in like an Amazon list down below so that you guys can see all the good things that I'm absolutely loving. These were just my absolute favorites. I would totally buy again in a heartbeat. If there's something that you think is an absolute must-have, or I would love to hear your regrets, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to follow along the journey. And until next time, ladies, keep on fighting.